Hello, it's Veronica, your American in Portugal. I make slice of life videos and informational videos for Americans who want to live in Portugal. I try to keep it honest, positive, share real experiences. But yesterday I was out with friends and there were some new people that came to our group meetup. And I was horrified to find out that they have used agents to buy their houses that haven't been fully vetted, like just walking by a salon and ended up buying from one of our not so ethical agents, and then another one who just got a referral from a blogger, and then this agent didn't even live in town. Like, you're talking about somebody who doesn't know everybody in town, doesn't know all the agents in town. These Some of these sites give you like just random names, and they'll pay people hourly who aren't even experts. So I want to talk about some things and mistakes that happen, and going, with in-house counsel, and some bad things that have happened. I'll get into more of the stories at the end. I'm going to go through the basics first. And it's important. This video, it's really important. Like I said, I don't like to go negative, but we have to be honest. You're moving to another country, and you need to be very careful about who you pick and the process that you choose to use, because this is not like the United States. So it's worth watching this video. And if you don't have the patience to watch it, then Portugal may not be for you, because Portugal is a place that requires a lot of patience. There's, bureaucracy here, and you need to take the time, do the research, and do things right, and do them right the first time. And picture like California DMV, or a lot of the DMVs. That's the way Portugal is with a lot of their processes, but they're also not as vetted. And when you're talking about real estate, you you it boggles your mind to see what happens here. So your home is a large investment for both your money, your sanity, and you're in a foreign country. But think about your house. It can be your biggest retreat and glorious place. This is my rooftop deck, right? This is behind me. And I have a beautiful apartment that I got. And I ran the transaction in a totally different way than the Portuguese were used to. So let's talk about the huge mistakes that Americans make when moving here and how they're made. And the biggest one, they assume everything is like the States, and it's not. And they do things here that you would never ever do in the United States. If you wouldn't do them in the United States, why would you do them here? I love my Cindy. You've seen her in the videos. She was also in real estate in America. And she's like, my goodness, you would never buy a house without an inspection, without an appraisal, without, really having it vetted and title and escrow, and making sure that property is owned free and clear and doesn't have liens, right? So why would you do it in a foreign country? Okay, so that's the faces. Okay, so here in Portugal, there's no title. Okay, no title company. There's no escrow. Home inspections are not standards. There is no disclosure process. They don't go through a disclosure checklist. Are you in a hazard, a fire, a flood, mold? Like, there's no disclosures. So it's completely up to you to get these things done. I'm going to share how you can do it, and it makes it pretty simple. But again, you wouldn't do that in the States. So why would you do it here, where the building requirements may not be as stringent, especially in these really old buildings? Like, you could really end up with a bad thing. You could also end up with liens on title, or not even owning the property outright, right? It could have other members of the family that you find out later should have been added and they weren't. So without title, escrow, disclosure process, former appraisal. Okay, so if you're getting a mortgage, then the bank will have kind of an appraisal process, but nothing is recorded here. It's not like America, where you could even go on Zillow and find out what things have gone for, call your title agent, and everything's recorded. Things are private here, and people sometimes even lie. So you may be sitting at a pub and someone will say, oh, I bought my place for 300,000. And someone says, oh, I bought mine for 200, where in essence, they both bought it for 150. I don't know why people aren't honest about it, but it's a thing here. And it's not the Americans, it's all these other countries. There are other countries, people who have not lived in America, who do not have any real estate experience. They're getting referral fees or kickbacks. It's the same mistake that Americans are making with your fiscal number. You're just oh, this company looks good, I'm going to go with them because they're online or referred. I've had companies ask me, hey, can you refer us? We'll give you $10 a person you send to us. No, I need you to have a relationship with your financial person here. It's not just an if, it's your fiscal representative that's going to be taking care of you while you're here. So no, I don't want to take you away from that introduction to that person. Attorneys, would you use an attorney in America that's an in-house attorney for somebody else? You need your own attorney representing you here. Why would you pay the real estate attorney inside a real estate agency? I guarantee you that real estate attorney is pretty much protecting that agent. So you need separate pay. Spend your money with a separate outside counsel. Would you go into a courtroom and say, oh, you know what, the defense and the prosecution and the judge are all paid for by me, but it's paid for by the other side. So you just go ahead and represent me. No, you need private counsel that represents only you. And then the agency can still have their own. The other agency can have their own if you're working with two agencies. So it's really important. So without a trained local agent, like local agent, and mind you, the real estate professionals here, and I do say professionals because they have different titles, but to be a real estate consultant, which is kind of like an agent, but not completely an agent, you don't need to have any training. I could be sitting here today going, oh, I have nothing to do. I'll go be an agent tomorrow. And boom, all of a sudden you're a consultant, not an agent. You're a consultant. You can buy, sell, show homes. It's not like in the States where you need to have training and a license and pass tests and be mentored. And then there's the Realtor Association. So in America, we have realtors. And it was really funny because I did get picked up by a big global agency here, one where I trained agents in the United States of America, and signed up with them. And then I'm like, where's the training? I'm like, yeah, I got the training about the company, but where's the rest? And they're like, oh, well, you just follow under our licensing. They have one license number for the whole office and every agent gets that. Like, you can just start. I'm like, well, no, I don't want to start. I want to know the process. And so it was getting picked up by them that I realized there's a lot of holes here. So I'm not with them. I'm not selling real estate. It was something fun to learn about here because in the States, I do have a California real estate license and I'm keeping it. It's not hung with a broker right now, but I'm keeping it. And right now I'm doing 45 hours of continuing education on, surveys and ethics. And every 4 years, you have to go through this. I've had a license since 2009. I've been the president of the California Association of Mortgage Professionals for the Central Coast of California. I have lobbied the government. I have been to my state assembly meetings with the California Association of Realtors, with the National Association of Realtors, which again is a completely separate agency. The realtor agency is separate, or the realtor designation is separate from a real estate agent. So let's say in America, you have a realtor, they do have a real estate license. And then to be a realtor, they have to agree to a higher code of ethics and pay to be part of this association. And you can get kicked out if you don't do the right things. So you can be a realtor and you would have a real estate license, but just because you have a real estate license doesn't mean you're a realtor, which was funny. When I got brought on here by this agency, they put realtor on my card. And I'm like, whoa, that's a trademark name in the United States of America. You can't just slap it on a card here. Like, they didn't even know the difference between a realtor, a real estate agent in the United States of America. So there are so many holes. Okay, so let's get to this. Okay. Without a trained local agent, you need a local agent. They need to know the good people and the bad people to work with locally. Unfortunately, there are some people who are not good. There are people who have taken clients' money. There are people who push you to put a deposit down before you even make an offer. And if you don't perform or you don't have the contract written right, they keep your money. There's no escrow. If that happens, I don't even like that. It's called a reservation. So with a reservation, let's say you have something online. Okay, so online, here's this listing. Let's say it's this. Let's say it's mine. It's listed. And I go in and say, oh, I want that. The agents, many times, a lot of the good ones won't do it, but some of them do. They're pushed by their agencies to hurry, get money everywhere you can, right? So they're pushed to reserve. So they would say, oh, okay, so 10,000 euros, and we're going to put reserved across this on the internet so people know you're kind of holding it. Well, guess what? If the contract's not written correctly and I decide not to buy that property, they keep the money. Like there's no out. Contract written correctly, like if you do have to do the reservation and your private attorney writes a rock solid agreement and holds the money like escrow, then you have a good chance of getting it back. Personally, I just say go straight to doing a survey, do an appraisal, get everything done. If it looks good, then you go ahead and make your offer. Your offer is called a CPCV. I'll put it up here, CPCV. And at the offer stage, that's when you put some money down, like good faith funds. In the United States, we call it good faith funds. Here, it can be like 10%. So you're talking big money. You want to have done all of your research. Now, a good attorney can also write in that you can get the money back, blah, blah, blah. But I say do your research and don't even make the offer until you know it's what you want. And if they're pushing you and saying a bunch of people are looking at this, just hold your ground. Not to say that tactic's used, but I've seen it used. It was used on me to kind of push you into giving them money. No, just take your time with it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. Don't get super emotional, even though it's a home and it's an emotional purchase. I get it, but take your time. And the most important thing is getting a good referral. Okay, so in my earlier videos, I've said, go online and kind of check out the market so you know what's happening in different areas. Well, that doesn't mean go directly to that agent, because many times that could be listed by 20 or 30 different agents. You're not going to save any money by going directly to that agent. What you've now done is left yourself open to a situation where nobody is on your side, like they're representing the seller. You need a buyer's agent. You need some, and again, that's not me. I don't do that anymore. I've gone out and found really good referral agents, local agents, the ones who are the most ethical, who will help you find a good agent on the other side. So let's say, for example, my apartment here, I said, I'm listing with everybody. So I listed it with 30 people, right? Let's say a buyer comes in and I have the best buyer agent, which again, I'm going to promote my people here who live in town, who are local, that I've trained to work with Americans and trained to do everything like we do in America, which it does creep them out here, but it works and it makes it simple for you. The process is very simple. So those people that I have trained, she can look through that list and go, that's the most ethical other agent that has it listed. So we're working with that one. Okay. So again, you're not going to save any money. All you're going to do is limit yourself from having extra representation. So you should have a buyer's agent, a seller's agent. Now, if my girl happens to have a listing, I do trust her, but I still think as a general rule, you should have separate buyer's agent, separate seller's agent. And if you have a listing agent, if you have a listing agent who says, I'm not going to work with any other agents, then that's their loss. You go on to the next one, move on to the next one, because they're trying to push you to use them for both sides of the transaction. Well, do you think it's in their best interest to like stand in front of mold or show you the mold when you walk into a room? You really need that representation, and you need a good referral from somebody who lives in town. So referrals from non-qualified people, you got that. That's one of my pet peeves. In fact, there were 2 bloggers that came into town. One came in just for a couple of days, said we didn't have a beach, and left. Listings. There's 10 listings listed by 40 agents. The clarity on that and the research is really important. It's fun to do good videos. It's fun to do slice of life videos. It's fun to show people around. But when it comes to real estate, you have got to have a good local qualified agent, because they'll know who we do and do not want to work with around town. There are people who have taken clients' money. They're in court about it. It's a problem. Okay. So don't just say, oh, I got this agency on the internet, or there was a link to go to this agency. Here's some person who doesn't live here and you're trusting them. One of these agencies contacted me and said, hey, we'll pay you if you'll, give us referrals. And I'm like, okay, well, let me look at it. Where's your office? Oh, we don't have an office in your town. We just hire people. They literally hire people hourly. They tell them what to go show people and they show it. So you don't even know, like, what's local school like? What's this neighborhood like? Is this something where there's been any issues recently with flooding? Downtown, we did have a little flood, and it was because the sewers were backed up. They hadn't been cleaned. So we had a torrential downpour. And then in downtown, we had some flooding. And now they keep, let me tell you, they keep they keep the streets very, very clean. These are things you need to know. Like, this area got flooded. Are you okay with this? As long as it's disclosed, it's disclosed. Are you okay with it? Are you not? So you need to know these things. You can't have somebody day tripping in and saying, oh, I see there's 3. Let me show you these 3 and move along. No. Plus, you're going to live here. Like, use local people. You're going to see them around town. Our town is small. We have people in Villarreal de Santo Antonio to Tavira, and we're back and forth with all of our expats and all of our friends, and we do things together. And it's this whole culture and lifestyle. So I went to this lunch yesterday, and somebody came and sat to me and just said, oh yeah, we just got somebody online, and da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they had all these questions. They didn't know the area. They didn't know anything. They got nothing from the agent, except the agent came in, showed them a couple things, and left. And I hope it all goes well. I'm sure it will. And same with another couple that just did a walk by and went to the most unethical agent in town. And it's really hard to say anything negative, but you're just like, man, did you use an outside attorney? Oh no, I used the in-house attorney. Oh my goodness, no protection at all. And this just blows my mind, because would you do that in America? No, no, don't do it here. And I know I'm getting so like passionate. But you know, the real estate agent or the real estate attorney that I use and my finance guy, they don't pay me for recommending them. I just think they're good and I recommend them. I trust them. They take care of our people. They make it easier on the agents too, because they do so much of the work and the disclosures and digging everything. Trust me, it's easy to miss stuff. And when it's in-house counsel, yeah, they're going to do the best, but common sense, the best to protect their agency, not you. So let's say you have a complaint and you go to them. Oh, great. Go to their attorney. That's not your attorney. That's their attorney. Who's paying them every day? They're paying them to represent them. Of course, they've written the contract to where everybody is covered except maybe you. So, and I'm saying maybe, I don't know for sure on every single thing, but I've seen stuff that I've just gone, wow, again, blows up my mind. So if you've liked my videos, if you've watched my videos, I live here. I live in Villarreal de Santo Antonio. I'm always in Tavira. From here to Tavira, we've got this area covered. We're here. We know the areas. Our friends have moved to there. We go back and forth. I just played dominoes in Tavira with a set of friends. And hi, girlfriend who got locked in the bathroom. By the way, take the key out of the bathroom. Anyway, so I digress. So life is not a day trip. It's not a weekend trip. Facts are huge. My videos are not so broad to get a ton of viewers. It's to show this part of the Eastern Algarve. It's to show you real life here. Well, and some fun travel and travel ideas. Okay, I'll pop those into, like when Cindy and I flew to Ireland. But it's not meant for general, like everybody in the world. It's meant for Americans who want to live here. I've lived in America. I've had a real estate license since 2009. I've trained real estate agents. I don't even want to do real estate here. I'm only getting into it because I saw there was a need and it's one of my passions. I loved training the agents and teaching them. And so I found the best ethical people here, and then I'm training them on the American way. So respond quickly, and then I'll help train you as well. You know, send the WhatsApp, don't do a bunch of emails, do WhatsApp, email, of course, for important communications to your lawyer or documents. But for you know, day-to-day chit chat, that's WhatsApp, because they can get back to you right away versus going through all their emails. And I put that in another video, so you can watch some of those. But this one is about, when it comes to real estate, I'm serious about the best and the most ethical agents who live in your town, who know, no, that's not a hospital. And one of the agencies in Tavira showed me around, gave me a great drive-by, and let me know, hey, there's going to be 2 new hospitals built by the shopping center in Tavira. We don't know the exact date, but it's part of the plan that there's going to be a private and a public hospital there. Those are facts you need to know when making your decision. If you're retired and you need a hospital nearby, maybe Villarreal de Santo Antonio is not for you. Maybe Tavira isn't until their hospital's built, or maybe knowing the timeline of when it'll be built, it'll be for you. These are facts that somebody from or some other county or town just isn't going to know. Again, and then I believe in staying local. Help your local people. Keep the money here. See our town? That's downtown right there. I'm 4 blocks from downtown. See that? So I want those agents to get the money and spend their money locally, spend it in our bars, our cafes. Last night when I was with our group of friends, our real estate agent came by and everybody's like, hi, hi. And the ones that she's worked with are so happy. They're thank you so much. She has pocket listings, which are not a great thing in the United States, but sometimes here you get a listing first and we can send it out to all our people and it's never going to go public. Like you have first access to these cool things. And some of them we're keeping in with the American community because we've built relationships with some of the builders. One of the best builders in town, he created this beautiful building. I mean, it's underfloor heating and solar, and even all the shutters, the cool Roman blinds that go up and down, they're all electric, top of the line appliances, everything top of the line, underground parking, elevator straight up. Amazing, amazing building. He never let that out. There was never a sign, and he was very picky which agents he let show that property. So he had 2 left, and 2 Americans got it the same time that they were released. So once he got he needed to get the occupancy certificate. Once he got that, it went to our agent, and our agent showed them, and 2 Americans snagged them. So that was something that's not available. It's not going to be available to this person from out of the area, and they're not going to know prices because there's nothing recorded. How do you know prices? You only know prices from what you've seen posted. So you could go on and see what's posted, but you don't know what was really offered. Did they offer more or less? How fast did it sell? All these type of facts that are really important. And there's one system that the agents can buy to kind of get a basic guideline, but most of them don't buy it. So we have bought that program, and that allows you to see inside and see all the agents that have listed to it, how long it's been listed, how many times it's been churned, was this listed and unlisted. So a new agent may list it and say, oh, this is new, hurry and buy it. And then I'll go back through and look up the data and go, this has been listed for 3 years and the price has been dropped and then raised. It again will blow your mind when you see a property was listed for 200, doesn't sell in a year, and then someone comes in and lists it at 250. And it's going to be the same person that's going to be pushing you, oh, get the 250. He got that listing because he went in and told the client, oh, I can get more for you, let me have the listing. And if you don't know and you don't have a trustworthy agent to say, no, 250 is too much, this place has been listed for 200, we'll go in, offer 200, it's been listed for a year. In fact, we should go 180, right? Or 170. You can offer lower. They can always say no, right? So, okay. So when it comes to real estate, I'm serious about the best and the most ethical agents. I spend hours, I'm not kidding, hours training them on how to work with Americans. And I'm here if you need my help, even though I pass it off. I leave it to the attorneys. I leave it to the agents. I stay out of their hair. There was one customer that was selling back home, was in contract here, and it wasn't selling. The market's turned. Stay to the end of the video and I'll talk to you about some selling tips now that the market's slower in America. But basically I went through their listing and said, oh, wow, ocean view. And there's no ocean view pictures on the first listing. Okay, where's the video? Where's the description? $1 million view, come on. Water view, ocean view, views from every window, pictures without ocean view across the front. Okay. Anyway, so we were able to, it was sad, but she had a friend or a relative that was an agent. She also spoke to him and they ended up firing the current agent, got the relative on board, got in the drones, got in the videos. Hello, you're watching on video. And this guy says, I don't do videos. So it's really important that you use the most amount of marketing possible, right? To sell your place back home. So within a week after getting the drones and the pictures, 2 offers, one of them full price offer, cash. Ta-da! And they thought they weren't going to be able to move here. And it was unfortunate. They thought they were going to have to renege on their contract here. And this was their dream, to retire here. And they thought their dream was bust. So you kind of get me, you get me. And before I pass off the referral, we have a consultation call. I go through everything with you. What do you need? What do you want? We have a questionnaire. Do you have dogs? Do you, see yourself at the beach or in, the country, or, all of the things that you should be thinking of. It's just in a quick questionnaire. I'll put it underneath this video. You click on it, you can do it on your phone. It gets you thinking. You can print it, you can have the PDF sent back to you, you can ask more questions, and we sit down and we do a call and we go through everything. If I feel you're ready, then I pass off the referral. If not, then we wait and hold, or I counsel you on what you could be doing to make yourself more ready. And if it's something where you want to rent, then buy, then we talk about that too, or what rentals are available. So we started a new rental program. I brought on people that know everybody in town that are super ethical. And we have 3 new rentals right now that just popped up. That's the hardest thing to find in the Algarve is year-round rentals, and you need that for your D7. So we have those, but they come and go right away. So the 3 that we have now, we're offering to one gal who's already a client, and whichever one she doesn't take, the other 2, I'll pop up and I'll send to my email group. So you need to get on my MailChimp, get on my email, mark what you want. So when I do a mass blast of, okay, here's the 3 that just came up for rent, you can say, I want it, let's get it, or let's do a virtual tour, whatever you need to do to snag that rental, because that's the biggest thing. And that's why we had to start the rental kind of little team. And again, I'm not doing that. They're doing it. I'm just helping them put the pieces together. And eventually we'd like to start an MLS type association here where we get all the good high quality agents together, having meetings, sharing data and information. And anyone who's not ethical, then they'll kind of be, okay, you can't be in the group. You fight the comments and try to see what you can do to make them better. But if they're not ethical, they don't join the association. So then that will filter them out. So we're kind of turning it into a more American style. So again, a blogger said no beach. One said we had a hospital. One said, that there were way more listings. There's not. Okay. So when you pop in from the day and get a few facts, it's just not enough. It's good for an overview and then you come and visit, but for an actual agent, you need to live here and you need to be the best here and you need to have the best reputation, because if you don't, when you go to offer on a property and you don't have a good reputation, they're not going to give it to you, especially if there's multiple offers. So again, no licensing requirement to start listing and selling homes. I'm doing 45 hours of CE right now just to keep continuing education, to keep my California license renewed. Okay. Dual agency, referrals, lawyers versus solicitors. There's lawyers and there's solicitors. They're different. Don't go by price, go by the best attorney. It's not that much here. And they work really hard and they're available to you for everything. They even come to the closing. So the way that the closing works here in Portugal, it's live. Normally you're used to signing and then it goes to the recorder's office and you get your deed after the county recorder has recorded it. Here, when you sign, it's live. So your attorney's there, your agent's there, the other agent's there. And when you sign, then they hand you the paper. But if one thing is off, they cancel the appointment, and that's at the notary. So where we think of notary is just somebody that stamps documents, the notary here is literally like the county recorder, and he's going through, he reads to you in Portuguese and English, everybody agrees, even the sellers are generally there, and then you all transfer the stuff and ta-da. And again, my attorney did everything. In my earlier video, you heard how they got into a little bit of fight at the end because he protected me. He had a really good contract and the other people didn't like it. Well, their agent didn't even explain to them the contract was written by us. In Portugal, generally, it's the person who has the listing, who is selling the property, they write the contract. But what we do is we write it. We take full control, write the contract. Tiago is fair. He's my attorney that I use. He's fair. He's completely honest. He'll put together a good contract that's fair for both sides. Okay. So, but what this makes is you don't have to have him review their contract and pick it apart, because he's really good. He's like a professor and he will pick it apart. He'll say line 3 is redundant to 2. And why do you have this? And, the clients who went with this agency with an in-house counsel, they didn't have the address right on the property. Do you really want to buy a property they don't have the address correct on? Probably might not own it. So for a client to have to go back and forth with the attorney in-house because there's all these errors, that's a problem. You need your own attorney taking care of you. Okay. So your own lawyer versus paying for the agency. Okay, why are you going to pay for his attorney? He can pay for his own attorney. You pay for yours. Don't pay for his. And so again, contract written in Portuguese. And do you even really read your contracts in America? Honestly, come on. And understand them. No, you should have your real estate attorney review it. In California, we do have very standard contracts, and that's a little bit different. But here, everybody makes their own. It's, you know, there are some in some of the computer CRM systems, but they can put in whatever. And if you're not having somebody review it, good luck with that. Okay. So even for a California real estate license, you take, you know, real estate law classes, you take contract law, you take ethics classes. That's some of the classes I do my continuing education is ethics again. So they, again, when I signed up here, they're like, okay, you can go be an agent. I'm like, well, what do I do? What do I like? Where's my training? And they're like, well, you came up for training. Well, okay, you told me all about Coldwell Banker, but you didn't tell me like what I personally need to do step by step and you know, break apart the contract. And it was very informal. They're like, oh, you can ask your team lead, they'll show you how to do that. Coming from California, where the licensing is very strict, it was, again, and so that's where I saw some of these holes. And then I saw how some of the agents were behaving and not answering phone calls. And that's why I made that other video that's like, oh, I want your agent call you. There's a lot of people that aren't loyal and they're jumping from agent to agent to agent. In a small town, guess what? They're going to know. There was an Irish couple and they said, oh, we're looking. Can you help us find an agent? I partnered them up with the agent that I really love locally that I thought would be good for them. And she says, I've already talked to them and I already know that couple talked to everybody else in town. So guess what? That person's not going to get any representation. It's not cool. Don't do that. Stay loyal. Pick somebody good, interview them, and then stay loyal. So, you know, pocket listings, getting the best building in town. And again, going direct to a listing agent doesn't save you money. All it does is not protect you. You have no representation now. Okay. And there are scams on some of these sites. So I was talking to Rui. Hi, Rui. And Tavira, we always joke, I'm like the American mayor of Villarreal, and he's like the American mayor of Tavira, and we have meetups with, you know, anyway, we do fun stuff together. And I just saw him the other day in Tavira, and he was with an attorney, and she was like, oh my gosh, do you know this person? I said, yeah, I do actually. And I said, that was horrible. Everybody was screaming and yelling at the end, and nothing was disclosed, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, okay. So if you streamline everything from the beginning and the contract's written right, and everybody understands what's happening, there's no issues at the end, okay? There's no screaming and yelling. This should be a great thing, not a frustration. So, and again, I know this isn't a fun and pretty slice of life video. It's a real chat about mistakes I see and people that make them here. So that's kind of the basics. I would say, honestly, if you're going to come to Villarreal, if you're going to come to Tavira or anywhere in between in the East Algarve, just reach out to me. I'll put my email down below. Sign up for my MailChimp. If you want to get any of the listings or communications, I don't send out much. I just don't have time. But if we get rentals, we'll send that out and you can mark in the box, I want rental information or whatever. And then I can, you know, when we get a rental, we can send that out and they're usually gone within a day or two. So you want to check your email. And because it's from MailChimp, it tends to go into promotion. So check your promotions and then just mark me as like a decent user because again, those CRM systems kind of flag sometimes that you know, it could be spam, but once you put me on your good list, then it'll come through. And I can't do everyone separately. I would love to, but there's so many in different stages. I have 200 that want to buy right now on my list, and they're in all different stages, you know, and some of them aren't even from down here. So really, I am your expert in this area to help you find and streamline the process with the right agents, the right attorney, the right financial expert, you know, the right surveyor. Oh, that's the thing I wanted to talk about also was surveyor. So where we have a home inspection, right? A certified home inspector, and it's like his license and insurance on the line when you have him come out in America. And then you have an appraiser doing an appraisal. And then you also have your disclosures from the other sides that are signed, as well as any disclosures that the agents need to give you. There's a separate disclosure agency. I don't know if you knew that, but there's a whole agency that sends you fire zone, flood zone, you know, earthquake zone. Hi, California. So they don't have that here. So what you'll do is you'll get a survey, and I have a really good surveyor, and Tiago arranges that. Once Raquel or my other agents do the basic matchup for you, then of what you want, then the attorney kind of takes over a lot of it. And then you're kind of dealing with the agent more on seeing more showings, more of what's happening around the house or condo, apartments or condos here. Then, they'll help you with more details or viewings. But once the attorney takes over, it goes pretty quick, especially if you're a cash buyer. Go boom, boom, boom. You can close fairly quickly. But the surveyor comes in, and he comes in before you give them money. No money before survey, okay? We had one that they really wanted that reservation fee, and it was with an agent that was, we knew had some issues, and we told the client, we don't feel comfortable with you giving any money to this agency. We should be able to view the property and bring in a surveyor before you give them money. They said, no, no, no. We ended up walking from it. Well, come to find out later, there were big problems with that. So if there's a problem with the building, they're not going to want you to have a surveyor in there first, right? So, it's, again, would you do it in America? If someone's like, oh no, you can't do an inspection, but give me money, you would run, right? So do the same thing here. Get the survey, get the appraisal. The appraisal is done with the surveyor, and they have this cool gun, this thermography gun. So they even show you like thermography. They check they do like a title type search. They check that the right people own it. So my attorney had to go back. Some documents were signed incorrectly from the people before me that had purchased the property. That could have flown to me, but he had them corrected. So now I own title free and clear. There's no liens. You need to make sure there's no liens. If there's no title insurance, what if there's a lien against that property, right? If nobody checks, it gets missed, right? So this is where the attorney's really, really important. Okay, so again, I'm not a real estate agent or consultant here anymore. I was what was called a consultant, which that's where you just go right in, work under their number, and boom, right away you can be an agent. And at home you have to get like fingerprinted, and they do a background check. Yeah, no, they don't do that here. Okay, no fingerprint. So again, I'm not a real estate agent. I saw holes with the industry and evolved to kind of help fix them. I've come out of retirement for you. That kind of happened during COVID, right? You need something to do besides my corny videos that they're not going to ever be super professional. They're just real slice of life videos, but something where you can just see what real life is like here. Oh, and I'm going to pop one up for you. I'll make it a secret one because it's not fully edited, but we just had medieval days at Castro-Marim, which is that way. So this way is town and the ocean and the river. You got to love when they say you don't have an ocean. You can see the ocean right there. That's like the ocean. So how could you not have a beach? We have one of the biggest, most beautiful beaches in Villarreal in San Antonio. You ride your bike through these beautiful pine tree forests and then go to the beach, and there's these great vendors so you can sit under a palapa and have a drink and snacks, and a restaurant there. And they're like, there's no beach. I'm like, okay. I hope you have a lovely day. Communicate with me if you need anything. Join the MailChimp so you get the information. And again, call me, stay local. Let us help you with this process. Don't go rogue and just, click, click, click. Oh, there's somebody that happened to work. I think that's wonderful if it worked for you. That's wonderful. But if you can do everything to protect yourself and make the process happy, streamlined, and protect your big investment, your home, and your peace of mind, why wouldn't you? Alrighty, cheers. Make some comments below. Let me know if you need anything. I'll have some friends put some good notes below of how we've helped them, and you can read through those kind of like testimonials. I'll have them put it maybe in the comments, and then you can respond back to them. Was this really true? Did it happen? We've helped so many people, and it's such a blessing, but it just scares me when it's like you just went rogue. You just went click, click, click. You know nothing about this agent. It was just a click that somebody's getting paid for, that's in some office. And when you review the agency and you look at the agency, you're like, there are no agents. It's all marketing people. Like, again, I have been asked to be somebody who will go out and show properties at an hourly rate. No. I don't even want to do it. Like that's what these great agents are for. They love showing the properties. I make the videos. I hope you get the right connection and get organized. And again, like, subscribe, MailChimp, and you can also buy me a coffee if you want to buy me a coffee for all this random stuff. Take care. Cheers.